at Linktree, we don't track any PII. We don't sell our users' data. We see value in building a really great product, and if users get value out of it, then we get value out of it. So
Hello everyone, welcome to the 23rd episode of Pepper Spotlight. And in this episode, we are going to introduce you to Anthony, who is the co-founder of Linktree. I'm very sure if you are a very frequent Instagrammer, you must have known what this tool is. It started as something that you could put in the link in your bio because you can only create one redirection link on your Instagram account. But basically, Linktree will help you to create multiple redirections to your YouTube channel or your blog or website or any events that you have or your podcast or anything else. But slowly, Linktree has been changing to like one-stop destination for every creator for their profile or portfolio. Basically, you can create a Linktree account and use that link everywhere on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere across for your podcast channels on Spotify, audio podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Hubhopper, anywhere literally. And it will also give you analytics and can help you with email signups and some other cool new features. Let's speak to Anthony in this conversation and understand where Linktree is headed for the next 2 years and what are they doing for creators across the globe with their Passion Economic Fund as well. This conversation with Anthony was pre-recorded, so you will listen to our conversation from here onwards. I don't know why Zoom does this, but privacy concerns.
I know. I think it's so you get permission, because I think people are recording conversations without people knowing. So
no mind. But thank you so much, Anthony, for giving us your time for doing this conversation. I think, to tell you, I have been using Linktree even from the time when not a lot of people knew in India what Linktree is or how you can optimize the link in your bio. And we used to create posts about that. You can use this tool and add multiple links to your YouTube, Facebook group, everywhere across. And it's like 3-4 years or 2-3 years back. And today I'm speaking to you. This is really, really, going to be great. Thank you so much for giving us your time today.
Of course, thank you, and thanks for the kind words. It's great to be speaking with you.
So, I have a lot of questions to ask you about the Passion Fund that you guys have announced and how it can help a lot of creators across the globe. But before we get into that, I just want to first understand from you, how did Linktree start? Because I think this was more like a side hustle for you with Alex, but now it has gone into like a very global, massive, impactful organization where I read that you are onboarding almost 30,000 users every day. And Gary Vee, Selena Gomez, so many creators across the globe are using Linktree. So how did a side hustle turn into such a massive organization is what I would want to know first.
It's a very good question. Thank you. It did start as a side hustle. Actually, it even before a side hustle, it really started as a way for us to solve a problem we were having at the digital agency we were running. We had a digital agency that was servicing musicians, record labels, music festivals, a lot of entertainment businesses in Australia. And having to change the link in your bio all the time was really annoying. And it was around the same time that Instagram changed the algorithm from being chronological to algorithmic. And so when you came across a post in somebody's feed and you went to click the link in the bio, it often changed. And so at the time, we're like, there's got to be a better way to do this. And we talked to our developer and said, hey, do you think you could create a link? And when you click on that link, it shows a bunch of other links. And 6 hours later, he had a really rough prototype. And we're like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. Looks all right. Let's get it online and use it for ourselves and for our clients. And so it just kind of picked up from there. And then really, we realized it wasn't just us having the same problem. Lots of other people started having it. And I think there's a few key moments along the way that really kept giving us motivation to keep going and turned it into a side hustle and then into a proper business and now into what Linktree is now with over, particularly across musicians and the creative field like that. But then it started to expand across more and more verticals too, not just for musicians. Even though we built for musicians as the first use case, it started going out into, influencers or sports teams or chefs, charities. And so the variety of use cases was really, really inspiring. I think there was a few other moments along the way that helped keep us help, I guess, us have a lot more motivation to continue building it and growing. And that was when people started to pay for the pro features. And again, that happened like previously. That happened without any marketing from us or any push. We launched the pro version that unlocked a whole lot more features, allowing us to monetize Linktree. It was free previous to that. And so, same thing, we put it online for $6 US a month, and we just thought, let's see if this is actually validated. There was not any sense of like what you do now, where you're A/B testing and you're experimenting and all that sort of stuff. It was like, let's put this online for $6 a month, all these features, and we'll see if people actually take to it. And it started working without any marketing or anything like that. So that was really inspiring as well.
It's really great. I mean, people sign like free users turning into paid users without any marketing is like a real, let's say, feedback for how good the product is.
Yeah. Thank you. And it's, I think another key thing is that all the while when we're building, it was really validating for our users and seeing the variety of use cases. And we ensured we're building for them, and that the features always had impact and meaning for our users, and we're solving for their needs, not ours.
Yeah. But let's say, so I mean, for me, Linktree started as a tool where I can have multiple links onto my Instagram profile. But I think now we have a pro feature, and so we also use it for email signups. So like anybody can, subscribe to a newsletter directly from Linktree and all of those things. And again, payment and multiple other things. For our listeners and viewers of this show, if somebody doesn't know about Linktree yet, how would you introduce them to Linktree right now, like in 2021, what the tool and product it is right now compared to not like 2 years back, 3 years back? How would you introduce them what Linktree is?
Yeah, so even now we still try and explain it as simply as possible, because it is a simple product, and a lot of our ethos is around making the complex simple, right? So the internet is super fragmented, as you probably know, and on average, people have around, I think the stat is around 8 different types of social media profiles. And you think about that, and even outside of social media, the way people try and showcase themselves is in a variety of ways. So Linktree is the original link in bio platform. It allows you to have one central place to house everything that's important to you or your business at any given time, and allows you to connect your entire online ecosystem with one link. So if you think of it as a modern day digital business card, you can place it on your social media profiles, you can put it in your email signature, you can use a QR code and use it out in the real world, and it will open up your Linktree profile, and it will show your users everything that's most recent and relevant and important to you at that point in time. When we think about on the high profile end of the spectrum, users like Selena Gomez, for example, you can Google anything about her and come up with all sorts of random facts. And with a Linktree on her profile, she's showcasing what's most recent and relevant and important to her right now, as opposed to all the other stuff that's out there in the world. And it's the same thing for maybe users who are not as big profile. They can unify their whole entire digital presence with one link.
Yeah. And can you walk me through a little bit of product updates? Because few prominent updates that I have seen is one, definitely that the email sign up can happen. So now we have integrated our MailChimp API directly with Linktree, and whoever signs up on our Linktree gets added to a newsletter. There have been a lot of cool design upgrades, like you can customize the buttons, you can customize the whole background of it, you can put up animations. And all of those things. What are some other prominent upgrades that have happened in Linktree in the past few years? And also, if you can share some future updates that are going to come into the product with everyone.
Yeah, there's been quite a few. So on the customization side of things, how your profiles look, you can embed videos. So instead of linking off to your YouTube profile, which you can still do if you want, but for people that don't want that, you can embed a video. So your YouTube or Facebook or TikTok or Twitch or Vimeo, people can click the link, and instead of linking off, it'll just do a little drop down with the video embedded there. And it still counts towards your play count on that platform. Backgrounds, we have introduced moving backgrounds. You can have like little video GIF animations in the background. Most recently, which is super, super cool, and it talks to the direction a little bit, we have launched an integration with Spring. So if you create and sell products on Spring, you can integrate them onto your Linktree profile. So similarly, someone will open up your Linktree and the title of your link might be buy my shirts or buy my merch. It'll drop down and show 6 of your products from your Spring store within Linktree, and people can transact then and there without having to link off somewhere else.
Wow.
Additionally, we have also launched commerce links. So now creators can actually monetize through their Linktree. You can get tips and donations and requests, and that the power of that feature is starting to roll out bit by bit. At the moment, it's a partnership with Square, but integrations with PayPal and Stripe and a whole bunch of other payment providers is on the roadmap that'll be rolling out really soon as well.
Yeah.
So really, we're starting to help not only showcase you and unify your digital presence, but also allow you to start monetizing that presence and monetize your passion through your Linktree as well. And then I think the other key thing outside of just some of those feature sets is the analytics. You can see things like views and link clicks, where people are coming from, the referrers, what locations your profile visitors are in. And that analytics set is getting deeper and deeper and deeper as well. So over time, that's going to be super powerful.
Yeah, I think that was one more feature that we on a regular basis used, understanding the analytics of all the links that are there. And I think that's very, very helpful. Before I move into asking you questions about the Passion Fund, I first want to understand from you, what does this term passion economy really mean for you? And where do you see how globally right now on the internet and the entire creator ecosystem, this term is being so widely used? But what do you think about what is passion economy and where it's headed?
Yeah, it's super exciting time, and it's interesting because I think there's been a massive digital transformation over the last couple of years, which was accelerated by COVID. But and the term passion economy or creator economy is used quite a lot right now. And yeah, the passion economy is people turning their everyday passions or interests into a form of monetization, mostly through online means or through social. They're creating content, they're curating content, they're building communities, they're influencing their audiences, and they're monetizing it in some way. Some people make a full-time living out of it, either through brand deals or through selling products or collaborations or all of those things. And for others, it is just a side hustle, a way to make some extra cash on the side, because they've got such a dedicated passion or interest in a certain topic. And so it's kind of interesting how it's come back to life right now over the last year, but people monetizing their passions, or the term for creators, has been around for quite a while. You know, YouTubers were called creators years ago. People monetizing their video content, you know, vloggers, and that whole wave that happened. Etsy creators selling niche little kitsch things on Etsy, they're also creators, but the term creator economy, passion economy wasn't so widely used with these platforms grew and grew. So it's really exciting now. This is really coming to the forefront, and there's more and more platforms out there and more investment in the space to really fuel it along. I think it's actually a really exciting time, because similar to, say, maybe the gig economy 5 years ago, or the sharing economy, where people are having to sort of sell or use their time in exchange for money, or their spare time, or their spare resources like their home or their car. They now can do it with their passion, and they can turn it into a full-time job. So it's really exciting.
Yeah. And tell us about, how did you guys decide to start a passion fund? And I know a lot of creators are, on Linktree. They use Linktree so often and have been there using Linktree for quite some time. So how did you guys decide about let's roll out a passion fund for all creators globally?
Yeah, it came from a couple of places. As we spoke about before, Linktree itself was a side hustle, and we know how hard it can be to get something off the ground, to kickstart a business out of your passion or your interest. And so we wanted to really find a way to give back. That was one thing. I think the other part is with the creator economy growing, the barrier to entry has never been lower. And part of Linktree's power is we really want to democratize the internet, democratize people getting online. You can create a Linktree within 30 seconds and have your own little place on the internet. So similarly, to touch on what I touched on before, is we wanted to democratize monetizing your passion, and that's partly why we launched Commerce Links as a feature within the product. So there's sort of that part of the background. I think another part is as we're starting to see how people are using the product and we were growing, COVID hit, and a couple of things happened at that point. As everyone knows, the world shut down, and people had to start to reinvent themselves. And we saw through the rise of so many digital platforms that fast-tracked the digital transformation of a lot of industries. And like we just touched on, the passion economy being one of them. And so we wanted to make sure that we could talk to creators about monetizing their passion and level that playing field. And so we felt that we had a place to offer help and offer a way for creators to worry about one less thing to get their passion off the ground and to become the creators of tomorrow, allow them to focus on their passion and without having to worry about maybe making that next paycheck. For somebody that wins a share of this $250,000 that we're giving away, it could be a $20,000 in their pocket. That could be the inspiration for them to quit their job and go all in for a few months to give it a go and try and get something off the ground. So that was really the inspiration behind it all. Is we thought we're in a place to give back, and we want to help inspire the creators of tomorrow.
So what are you ideally looking for in these creators whom you want to give away this grant? Is it specific to any geography? Is it specific to any kind of creators? What really are you looking for in these creators?
Yeah, it doesn't matter how big you are or small you are with your follower count. It doesn't matter where you are. It's open to anyone in the world, but we're looking for a couple of things. Creativity. So how have you used your imagination or originality to bring your passion to life? Innovation. So we want to know about how innovation might be a thread throughout your passion, your future goals. What are you changing, or what do you bring in that's a little bit new? We also want to see personality. So often with big passion, comes a big personality, and with that, bigger ideas. So we want to see how people have stayed true to themselves through their vision and through their journey, and brought their personality to life. And that we're keen to see how that shows what kind of game-changing ideas come of that. The next thing is vision. So ensure that there's a sense of purpose and direction in the long term for what people's passion is. And then the last part is adaptability. So we want to see how people are anticipating what changes in the environment they're operating in. So that could be the platform they work in. It could be the location that they're in, the type of passion that they're trying to monetize. Everyone lives and works in different ways, and it's evolving more faster than ever. So we want to see how people are adaptable as well. So they're the key 5 things: creativity, innovation, personality, a clear vision, and adaptability.
Yeah, and we're going to make sure we mention the link to the application in the description of this episode, so that a lot of creators and listeners and viewers of this show can go and apply and get this fund, because there are a lot of talented creators in India who probably need that small fund to just scale up and be like a global creator altogether.
Yeah, awesome. We're super excited to see it.
Super. I have 2 last questions for you. One, because you are connected via your product to so many creators from across the globe, right? Right from somebody like Selena Gomez, Gary Vee, organization and brands as well, let's say like Red Bull, and multiple other creators, not just from the US or Australia or UK or India, across everywhere. What are some trends that you are seeing across the globe in the content space, or in the creator economy space, or in the passion economy space? What are some things that you have observed via these different creators globally?
Yeah, there's uh, when it comes to it's interesting when it comes to, say, certain types of users or verticals of users, be it a musician, a business person, or a chef, or a writer, or an activist. The way they use Linktree, and even the way they use social, is quite similar. It doesn't matter where they are necessarily. It might just be the way they go about customizing or driving traffic to their Linktree. But they're kind of the main things. But I think when it comes to certain trends in the space, or obviously the monetization thing is probably the biggest one. Ways for users of platforms to get closer to their audience in a more direct way, and to help monetize that in a way that is authentic and in a way that is meaningful is probably the biggest trend that we're seeing at the moment. So, not Linktree is only one part of the social space or the passion economy space, but platforms like Substack allow writers to monetize their writing directly without having to be part of a publisher network or anything like that. They can instantly generate revenue from a newsletter that they do. So I think similarly, there's also a move away, and we're pretty big on this at Linktree, a move away from big data. At Linktree, we don't track any PII. We don't sell our users' data. We see value in building a really great product, and if users get value out of it, then we get value out of it. So I think there's going to be a bigger shift to similar thinking, which we're already seeing there, where rather than having a product where you are the product as a user because your data is getting sold to advertisers, we're going to see a more direct line of communication between audiences and their audiences, users and their fans, and vice versa. That's only going to continue to grow, I think. And I think that's really exciting because it really, again, it democratizes and levels the playing field for everybody to be able to monetize, make a living, connect with their audiences without any gatekeepers. So yeah, I think there's some of the big things that are going to continue to evolve.
Got it. And last question, and this is a little away from the Passion Fund or Linktree, but this is more about how the whole global ecosystem currently right now is on the internet. So we're seeing this audio boom with Clubhouse, Spotify Green Room, Facebook announcing their live room, and all of those things. At the same time, a lot of, like how you were mentioning about Substack, and the whole commerce play, or the monetization tool for a lot of creators. Where do you see the whole social media dynamics and ecosystem going in the next few years, or let's say in the next 5 or 10 years? Because somebody like you who is connected through the product with so many creators across the world, what are some of your, let's say, assumptions about what are going to be the next few big trends in the whole ecosystem or on the internet?
Yeah, it's the audio space is super fascinating, and I think we'll continue to see a little bit more of that. Again, it's I think that interestingly how it came from, like, the rise in podcasting, and they were almost, social and podcasting were almost separate for quite a while, and now this is the almost merging of the two, like live podcasting and live audio. We had live video and video streaming for quite a while. I think the continued rise of creators and influencers is going to continue, and that authentic content with meaning is going to have even more credibility with users as it grows. I think there was some research that showed top 10 occupations that high school leavers wanted to have. And the old, traditional things like doctor or lawyer or musician or whatever. And for the first time, creator was in there. I think that's
Yeah.
only going to become, even more and more of the norm. I think things like social media as a way for customer service. So it already kind of happens on Twitter, but I think there's going to be more direct lines of communication for fans and users to have brands and users to have a direct one-to-one connection there, and get people want quick answers, not a to wait on the phone for 20 minutes. And I think the live streaming thing will continue to grow. It was one of those things that had a massive growth throughout COVID too, obviously, but I think it will continue to find its place. And I think, like I said before, social commerce is just going to get even quicker and more instant for fans, and not just as a direct way to monetize through creators, but for brands and shops and anybody really trying to shop online. I think we'll start to see the slow decline of having to go to a website and a store and have 3 or 4 clicks to have to find what you want. I think we're going to start seeing those steps reduce through the platforms people have in their hand on the go even more.
Yeah. And I think a lot of things are going to go global. Let's say a creator or a brand first, if it was only based out of India now, maybe they can go globally as well, sell their products or build an audience or community outside India as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's something we're really inspired by at Linktree, is that something like our commerce links, we can help people in any country in the world, be it developing or elsewhere, to help monetize and create an audience and generate revenue from anyone else in the world, no matter where they are. Is super exciting.
Yeah. And let me end this on a lighter note by just asking, what are some Instagram pages or YouTubers that you personally admire? Any creators from across the globe that you really enjoy consuming their content or just watching their content?
There's a skit comedy duo in Australia called The Inspired Unemployed. And it's silly humor. It's very they do it on Instagram stories and on TikTok. They're a Linktree user as well, but it's very localized kind of humor, but it's very silly. It's easy just to switch off and laugh at that, because it's all very current things. They really tap into the psyche of young people and young people at work. Weirdly, there's a Danish blacksmith called Martillo, and he live streams on Twitch from his workshop. So he makes hammers and all this sort of stuff. And it's really compelling to see this blacksmith build their craft, bring to life their craft slowly through a live stream. It's really, it's really beautiful to watch. And it's not something, I don't have an interest in that really, but it's just sort of fascinating to see into that world, and then also see that niche community of his fans all interacting on Twitch and really getting into it. There's so many things like that you stumble upon that are super cool. And then I can't think of the name of him right now. Eric, I think his name is Eric Rees. And I have 11-month-old twins. And so I'm a newish dad now. And I never used to really care about parental humor on social, but now I'm all about it because they're speaking my language. I get it. And there's this creator who just makes a lot of silly dad jokes with having twins, and I just relate to it. So it's kind of funny.
Well, I'm definitely going to go and check out these different creators. But thank you so much once again, Anthony, for giving us your time. I think this was very, very insightful understanding from you where the global creator ecosystem is going to go, about the Passion Fund, and also knowing these 3 unique creators towards the end. I'm definitely going to go and check them out. So thank you so much for giving us your time today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Go out and sign up for the Passion Fund.
Yes, we're going to mention the link in the description of this episode, and I'm very sure, I hope somebody from India gets one of these grants, so that they can go global and start their passion and their scale it up really, really massively. But once again, thank you so much for doing this with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed this conversation with Anthony. If you are a creator, freelancer, anybody in the creative domain, go check out our newsletter, Pepper Shots. We send out 3 emails every week where we are talking about topics like how you can build your portfolio, how can you monetize your content, how can you start a podcast show, how can you start a YouTube channel, and things like that. Anybody who wants to be a content creator on the side or start freelancing on the side, I think it's totally worth for you to go ahead and subscribe to the newsletter. The link is in bio and also in the description of this episode. I hope you enjoyed this conversation, and if you liked any part of this conversation, please go ahead, tweet about this, maybe create an Instagram story about it. And if you have any suggestions, recommendations, please just DM us directly on Instagram, Twitter, or just comment on this YouTube video, or if you're listening to this on Spotify, just DM us on Instagram @pepper_content. You can even PM me directly @pawan_rochwani. It's very simple. And next week we are going to announce something pretty exciting. This podcast is going to have like a whole new look and feel to it. Be there on our Instagram page when we announce it. But till then, take care. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week.